Okay, so tonight we're going to be talking about the energy of this year around the potential for people to come into some unexpected money. And I'm dubbing it the year of the instant millionaire because I just feel like for this year, there is a great chance that a lot of people are going to see some sizable amount of money drops in their lap. Now, could it be from the lottery? Could be. Could it be from other sources? Absolutely. So we're not just saying this is totally just the lottery, but it could be. And I started to think about this a few weeks ago as I've gotten, gearing up to go more into my manifestation around my own money. And I noticed that there have been a lot of lottery winners, particularly lottery winners that have, it definitely is the transference of wealth. This is actually the beginning of it because the next 20 years is actually the time period for the transference of wealth. So that's a whole nother live. But I feel like this is the year that kind of like starts it off. So anyway, I was noticing, as you guys know, I live in Houston, Texas. So I was noticing that there had been an influx of lottery winners in one particular neighborhood. And when I say influx, I'm talking about two people. But I thought it was funny because there was a news report that a gentleman had went in and bought a scratch-off ticket, and he won $1 million. Now, he was in the neighborhood that we consider Missouri. We call it Missouri City, but it's a small little suburb that's outside of Houston, but in Missouri City. So that's one. In that same week, they had another a lottery winner. This person won $2 million on the Powerball drawing. But they they bought the ticket at another gas station in the same area in Missouri City. And I just thought that was fascinating. So then I started to see about 2 to 3 more articles. And these were in different places, whereas people had bought scratch-off tickets. Yes, in the same week, in the same neighborhood. And I thought, like, that's a pattern. Most people would think it's a coincidence. For someone like us, we see that as something else. So, like I said, then I saw another, 3 articles where people, not in the Houston area, but around, the United States, had bought scratch-off tickets. And they had won, I think one person won $275,000, another one won $500,000, and I think the other one won $100,000. So let me fly to Texas, exactly, on the scratch off. And so, like I said, for people like us, we see that differently. We don't see that like the average person would see it as a coincidence. That is not a coincidence. It is not a coincidence that you had 2 lottery winners in the same neighborhood in the same week. That's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that you're seeing an influx of people walking into gas stations, buying a random scratch-off ticket and winning in excess of hundreds and thousands of dollars. That is not a coincidence. That, for me, is an indicator of what Whitney pointed out on here is the transference of wealth that we are going to be experiencing over the next 20 years. Now, I don't want to get too far into that because I think that deserves its own live, but the transference of wealth that we're talking about is something that's going to be happening again over the next 2 decades, so the next 20 years. And you're going to see with that particular period a lot of wealth growing. This is where I feel like you're going to see a lot of people start to create generational wealth, not just talking about it, but creating actual generational wealth over this next 20 years. This is where you're going to see a lot of people come into massive amounts of wealth through their efforts around technology, business, making investments, things of that nature. You're going to also see the end of the what I consider the uber rich. So I had talked about this maybe about a year or so ago, a couple of years ago, when I did a video on Pluto going into Aquarius and how the United States would be going into their Pluto return. and it's going to impact our financial systems. And so we're already seeing that now. So you will start to see a transference of wealth, where you're going to see literally rags to riches type stories. But that's another video. But just keep in mind, we're already in the age of the transference of wealth. And I do believe that this particular energy is starting it off. So tonight we're talking about, and I had been talking about this for the last few months, the astrological aspect that I feel like is going to really put people in a beneficial way over this next year is that Jupiter in Taurus. I have been waiting for Jupiter in Taurus for about a year now. And Jupiter in Taurus, Jupiter went into Taurus on May the 16th. So this energy has already started, and it will stay in the sign of Taurus until May 25th, 2024. That is not a lot of time. Now, when we think about Jupiter, of course, that is the planet of expansion, abundance, growth, opportunity. Anything that Jupiter touches, it magnifies it. It makes it bigger. Now, we always think about Jupiter being like, oh, it's going to blow up a blessing. Yes, it will. But it also will blow up a situation. It really doesn't matter what the situation is, good, bad, or indifferent. Yes, so you're gonna always put it. Yes, because I want people to get this information. So when Jupiter comes in, it magnifies things. So when Jupiter moved into the sign of Taurus, we think about Taurus as the ruler of the second house, which is the first money house in astrology. This is where we earn our income. This is where we have our material possessions. This is where we have our investments. This is where we have things that are of value to us, our luxuries, our money. So we think about Jupiter going into Taurus. We think about it expanding our wealth, because this is a wealth house. So expanding our wealth. Taurus represents everything that has to do with money. And combining that for me with Jupiter, that means just having a blessing in the area of money for us. So tonight I put together, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 rising signs that I believe could manifest or could just walk into the luck of winning the lottery, winning a major jackpot of some sort, whether it's, the lottery, or you go to the casino, or you get a scratch-off ticket. Now, this could also come in other ways. This could come in some type of settlement that you get. This could also come in the area of people making an investment of some sort. So once we start to break down what the rising signs are, I'm going to go into a little bit of detail to tell you how this money could possibly drop into your lap. Okay? So do we have any questions, or has anyone so far been experiencing any type of financial abundance here in the last few weeks? Maybe in the last 3 months, have you noticed a difference in your finances? Have you come across just, where your finances are doing better, where you're just running into, where you're getting lucky, where you even finding money on the street is going to be a thing? So has anyone saw a shift in some way of their own financial situation over the last 3 months? I'm going to say over the last 3 months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when we do these rising signs, I'm going to do them in order. Normally, I don't do things like this in order, but I'm going to do them in order from, least to greatest. Which rising sign has all 5? Everybody has the opportunity to win something. You have. See, I'm telling you. Yes, I can't wait. So every rising sign has the opportunity to benefit from this energy in a lucky way. But I've chosen 5 rising signs that I feel like could have a little bit of an advantage over everyone else. And when I list them, I'm going to list them from the least to the greatest. So we're going to start, because there's 5 of them. So we're going to start with number 5 first. And we're going to talk about what rising sign I feel like is going to be benefiting in a financial way for this year. Now, remember, this is a short window of time. A year is not a long time. My sis was headed to check in for her shift at the airport and found $20 on the floor. See, that's and it's in Dallas. Oh, Texas here again. and you know, and that's something just very small, but that's one of those things, like money literally just being in front of you and you just finding it. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started because I need to eat some dinner and then get into bed because I got to go to work in the morning. All right. So we're going to start with number 5. The rising sign that I think is going to be on the short list of signs that are going to be in this this lucky financial energy is actually Virgo rising. So if you have a Virgo rising, this one is more of an honorable mention, and I'm going to tell you why. Virgo rising, your 9th house is going to be lit up with Jupiter. Now, in astrology, the 9th house is not a money house. So when we think about the 9th house, we don't think about money. The 9th house is actually higher education, foreign travel, foreigners, our belief system, religion, things like that. So that definitely really doesn't have anything to do with money. But the reason that I chose Virgo rising is because Jupiter will be impacting this area of your life. And the 9th house is actually ruled by Jupiter. So for me, being that the 9th house is a Jupiter ruled house, with Jupiter being activated by Taurus in such a positive way, it's giving foreign sugar daddy. Yeah, it definitely could be. I like how you think. But because Jupiter is being impacted by Taurus in a beneficial way, I just feel like that this area of your life could bring a financial blessing your way simply because it's a Jupiter ruled house. So I'm going to stick with Virgo rising. Some astrologers may say that, you know, they wouldn't agree with it, but it is what it is. I'm going to say Virgo risings could be, to a lesser degree, on the beneficial end of some type of financial blessing over this next year. Okay? Now, number 4, the rising sign that came in at number 4 for me was actually Libra rising. So if you are a Libra rising, you came in at number 4. And the reason I brought you in at number 4 is because Jupiter is going to be activating your 8th house of other people's money. Now, again, this could be manifesting a sugar daddy, as as we always love in the 8th house. But the 8th house is all about money you don't earn on your own. This is unearned money. This is also money that you receive through the efforts of other people or through someone else. The 8th house also is about insurance payouts, settlements, child supports. It is any money that you're going to receive that are outside of the efforts of yourself. This has nothing to do with the work that you do. Okay. So this is money that just comes to you. Now, this could also have to do with your partner's money or financial blessings. So this could look like it could be your spouse, your long-term committed partner. This could also be a business partner. But if you are not receiving the blessings yourself, this could be blessings that's coming from someone else that trickles down over to you. So keep in mind, the 8th house is about unearned money, and it's about other people's benefits and other people's blessings. So we can say that your spouse walks into a grocery store, buys a scratch-off ticket, and wins $100,000. Even though you didn't personally win it, your spouse wins it, and that's just as good as you winning it because the blessing comes through the other person. Now my Libra moon just started back getting child. See, that's what I'm talking about. So that's the reason why I feel like that this particular financial blessing energy could impact Libra rising. Now, this could also look like, because it's the area that governs inheritances, this could be something that Libra rising inherits from someone else. And let's keep in mind that the 8th house is not just money, it's also resources. So this could be, to a lesser degree, like resources like connections or maybe property or something, or maybe someone gives you some stocks or bonds or something like that. My old man just gave me the go ahead to save my money instead of paying rent. That's what I'm talking about. So benefits and gains through other people for Libra rising. Oh, I just love this. Now, coming in at number three is going to actually be Cancer rising. Now, Cancer rising, I actually have a Cancer rising that's close to me. I hope she's watching this. So my Cancer rising, Jupiter is going to be highlighting your 8th house. Your 11th house. The 11th house is considered a wealth house in astrology. So she's talking about whoop. So the 11th house, this is the house of our friends. This is the house of our social groups, social networks, our long-term goals, dreams, and wishes, our long-term intentions. And I'm missing something, technology and unexpected gains, unexpected money and unexpected gains. So if you are Cancer rising, you can be one of those folks. Number one, this is a wealth house, which I love. I would strongly suggest that a Cancer rising play the lottery or go to the casino. This could be an unexpected opportunity that comes for you. And what is more unexpected than a lottery winning? What is more unexpected than going to Vegas or going to the casino and you put a quarter in the slot machine and out comes $5,000? So where Cancer rising may see a blessing is something that comes to them in a very unexpected way. They did not see it coming, and then all of a sudden it changes their life. Don't need to tell me twice. No, you know what? I should have premised this before we got started. And this is a serious note. I'm very serious about this. If you are someone that is watching this video and you do struggle with any type of gambling addiction or things of that nature, please seek out help. I don't want anyone to get on here and take what we're talking about now and take that and just go bet everything that you own. Please do not do that. So again, if you struggle with discipline around gambling, discipline around those types of things, please seek out help. Okay. I should have said that beforehand, but I'm saying it now. So if you are Cancer rising, but Sonia said, exactly. I do not need a but Sonia said moment. No. So, but if you're a Cancer rising, look for your financial benefit to come unexpectedly. I want to test my Cancer sun luck anyway. Sag rising, I believe it is. And you can. I just always want people to be cautious around how much they're betting, how much they're risking. Don't go overboard, and don't say I told you to. But Cancer rising, yours could come in an unexpected way. Just out of the blue. So you could definitely have a year where unexpected pockets of money comes your way. Unexpected pockets of financial gains show up for you. So be prepared for that, Cancer rising. So that's number 3. Now, number 2. And number 2 is on the list, and I put them down as an honorable mention. Because the number two person on the list is going to have to do a little work for this. And I know I started this as more or less something that should just come to them, without any effort. But this one may be a little bit tricky. The person that I chose, the sign that I chose for number 2 would be Aries rising. So if you are an Aries rising in particular, Jupiter is going to actually be impacting your 2nd house. Now, remember, as we started at the top of this, we talked about how the 2nd house is the first money house in astrology, and it's the first wealth house in astrology. So we're talking about major wealth here in the 2nd house. Now, I chose this one because even though the 2nd house is about how we earn our money, so we do have to go out and work for it, it is also the house of our material possessions and investments. And investments is what I really kind of focused on when I chose this particular house. So Aries rising, you could actually benefit from this Jupiter energy through investments. So this could look like you decide that I'm going to take $100 and I'm going to buy stock in some random company. And you buy this $100 worth of stock, and then overnight that stock quadruples in some way. And the next thing you know, you've taken $100 investment and it's turned into $10,000 overnight, or it's turned into $100,000 over a year span. So something that you could possibly invest in could yield you a big payout. And it may just take a small investment, and then all of a sudden it's like, I never knew that this was going to happen, and now you're sitting on an investment that's like $300,000. So it could come in that way. Now, if we wanted to, the second house again is about how we earn our money. This could definitely look like you working a little bit harder, and you could be putting yourself in a good financial place. We could do that. But because this is also the house of material possessions, another way that this could possibly pay out is, you ever seen those people that go to garage sales or antique sales, and they buy something, just the most random thing from this garage sale, and they pay maybe about $5, and they buy this ugly ass vase or something, or this ugly ass painting, and the next thing you know, they find out that this painting was by some type of a popular artist or something, and the investment they made of $10, this painting is worth a damn near $1 million. So it could be one of those things, like you pick up something, like I said, at a yard sale, and you just like, oh, this is, or you get one of those paintings, and I've seen this happen in a movie, where you get a painting and then you go to change the frame, and then you take it apart and you take the painting off, and the painting behind it is a goddamn painting from Picasso. Something like that. And I know it sounds crazy. That shit could happen. Or you go and you have a relative that passes away. Oh, a storage auction. That is a good one. A storage auction. Oh my God, I just saw one of those on YouTube. It was a teacup from an old Chinese dynasty worth millions. See, that's what I'm talking about, because the second house is about investments and material possessions, but it's right about material possessions that are of value. Yeah, or you could go to one of those storage auctions. That's a good one too. I've always wanted to get into that too. But you have a relative that passes away, and they were a hoarder, and you go in their house, and you haven't been in their house in like 50 years, and you go in there and it's a goddamn museum of collectibles and all that stuff. Or what you could do with this energy is, you could purchase something. Say, for instance, you decide, I'm going to purchase a vintage Chanel bag. Like, so you find a vintage Chanel bag, and you know how much those things hold value. So you start to purchase things that hold value, that you know down the line you could sell for a profit. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. I'm trying to make sense of that. So that's how I felt like Aries rising could come into some type of surprise money or surprise gain. They may have to do a little work, and theirs may come from investments of some sort. Now, we're down to number one. I knew this was going to be a quick while. We're down to number one. And the number one rising sign that I believe has the biggest luck, and their luck is actually going to be around the potential of winning the lottery or some type of game of chance that has to do with gambling, is actually Capricorn rising. Now, the problem I have with Capricorn rising is getting them to buy a damn ticket, because Capricorn rising does not like to invest anything that they don't feel like they're going to get a return on. They don't. Yeah, Taurus is going to be other. Of course, Taurus is already blown up for anything. But Capricorn rising, and let me tell you why. Capricorn, Jupiter is going to be sitting in their fifth house. The fifth house is the house of the lottery and gambling. The fifth house is about what they call games of chance, and where we take a risk. So Jupiter is going to be lighted. It's just I can't stand Taurus. But this is Capricorn rising. Capricorn's fifth house is going to be lit up for the potential of winning something with regards to how they gamble and taking a risk. Now, as I said before, Capricorn rising is not a sign that likes to take risks. So I'm going to be hard pressed to figure out how they're going to actually walk in there and buy a damn ticket, because they don't ever want to spend money that they feel like they're not going to yield a return on. So if you have someone that is close to you that you know their rising sign is a Capricorn rising, I would strongly suggest that you try to get them to go to the casino, go to Vegas, do a scratch off ticket, buy a lottery ticket, buy a ticket to a raffle, anywhere that has to do with you taking a chance on something. I want you to encourage my Capricorn risings to do that. I have one Capricorn rising in my life. He does not believe in the lottery. He does not believe it. As a matter of fact, I told him I had bought some lottery tickets like a week or so ago, and he was like, oh, that was a total waste of money. I don't know why you did that. You could have gave me that money if you wanted to give it away. It is just like, so I'm just trying to figure, my mom must be a Capricorn rising. She doesn't do anything. It's going to be like pulling teeth to get Capricorn risings to buy a lottery ticket. But the crazy part of it is they are the number one on my list that could possibly actually win. And I have been trying to figure out how I can get the birth dates of past lottery winners, because I want to do a study on these people to see what it is that aligned about these people, if they had something in their birth chart that indicated this thing could happen, what happened on the day they bought the ticket, because contrary to popular belief, the day that you buy the ticket is the day that you win. That is going to be determined if you're going to win the lottery, because you're going to be buying the ticket under certain alignments. The ticket is already a winner. So I wanted to see if I don't know how I can get the birth dates of lottery winners so I could see what was happening on that particular day. Even if I can't get the date that they bought the ticket, at least the day that they won, to see what happened on that day that aligned that they actually won. So if anybody can get these birth dates for me, I would appreciate it. I've been trying and Googling, and that's just not something that I've been able to get a hold of, but hopefully I can. So to recap, yeah, I would love to know that. To recap, number 5, Virgo rising, you have the potential of maybe having some financial gains unexpectedly on a lesser degree, because your 9th house, the house that rules Jupiter, is going to be lit up. Number 4 is going to be Libra rising. I chose you because your 8th house is going to be lit up of unearned money and other people's money, and money that you could drop in your lap through no effort of your own. Number 3 is Cancer rising, your 11th house. The internet tells, I'll bet one of their Facebook pages is open. Oh, you know what? I didn't even think about that. Oh, I got to do that. Cancer rising, your 11th house, one of the wealth houses in astrology. The 11th house is all about unexpected gains, unexpected money that could come your way. So I chose you. Number 2 would be Aries rising. The 2nd house is a wealth house, not necessarily something that will drop in your lap, but you could make an investment of a lifetime, and that thing could turn around and yield you a big financial gain. So Aries rising is number 2, and the number 1 sign is Capricorn rising, because your 5th house of the lottery and gambling will be lit up for this year until May 25th, 2024. All right. Do we have any questions, any comments, anything that anybody wants to add to this list? Now, this is just my own personal take. There could be other, people that think differently around this. It was just something that I got a Capricorn rising on here now, and she just popped in. And if you're Capricorn rising and you know who I'm talking to, you need to be playing the lottery religiously for this next year until next May. So keep that in mind. It was something else I wanted to tell you guys. And I should I should have said this in the beginning. Now, with all this information that I've given you, and we all have an equal playing field to win lotteries and do all of this, this only works if you are walking in the vibration of abundance, okay? If you are walking in the low vibration of lack, if all you speak is lack, if your vocabulary is cluttered with lack vocabulary, lack words, if your vibration is low and you're always in the mindset or the vibration of not having enough, this is not going to work. You must elevate your vibration. You must be walking in a vibration of abundance. You must be walking in a vibration that you deserve everything that is coming to you and that you are worthy to receive this. The universe cannot trust you with any amount of money if you are not vibrationally saying that I deserve it, I know how to handle it. You have to change your mindset around money. It doesn't matter how many planets line up for you. It doesn't matter how many vision boards you make. It doesn't matter how many candles that you light. It doesn't matter how much cinnamon you blow in your damn door. If your vibration is low, if you don't think that you deserve to have financial abundance, none of this works. None of it. I don't care what anybody says. You can't tell me any differently. You cannot tell me that. It is no way that people can win a lottery or something like that and tell me that these people are not walking around here in some type of vibration of abundance, or especially a vibration of appreciation, because spiritually, you have to have a healthy respect for money. You really, really do. Your relationship with money has to be in a healthy state. A lot of people don't believe that you have relationships with money. Yes, you do have a relationship with money. And if you have a poor relationship with money, it will show up. So if you're someone that is always financially struggling, always worried, anxious about money, that is a poor relationship with money. Laughing my butt off at the cinnamon. I just did that, but I literally feel so abundant and grateful. I have been getting money and effortlessly late. Listen, again, I'm going to say it. Somebody on here is a Capricorn rising, and I know exactly who it is. Inbox me so I can verify it for you. But I know somebody on here who's a Capricorn rising, and if you want to know who you are, just inbox me and let me know. I'll let you know, and you're one of the ones that needs to be playing the lottery. But we have to be in a space of appreciating what we have. The universe will not bless us with more if we are not good stewards over what we currently have and what we do not appreciate what we currently have. It can't trust us. So until you can demonstrate to the universe that you can be trusted with money at its smallest, it can't bless you with anything bigger. Okay, you have to have a healthy respect. You have to put money in its proper perspective. You have to not tie your self-worth into money. You cannot look at money as a weapon. I'm going to be very, very transparent. I didn't get this lesson for a very, very long time. And I think I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again. When I look at my natal chart, I have what we call in astrology a stellium in my second house, which means I have a lot of planets in my second house of earned income and wealth. I already know that I'm going to be wealthy. I already know this. I'm not even worried about this just by looking at my birth chart. But I do believe that I have, and I've said this before, I think I had slowed down the process and hindered it for a very long time because I had a very unhealthy relationship with money. I had this thing about hoarding money and holding on to money too tightly. You cannot do that. Money is energy. Money is fluid. It flows in and out. You cannot hold on to money and think it's going to grow. You cannot hold on to money and think it's going to come to you. It has to be released in order for it to come back in abundance. So I had this thing, this fear. Number one, you can't have fear on money either. So I had fear around money. So I would hold on to money. I would hoard it because I was so scared to spend it because I didn't think I was going to have it. But time and time again, the universe would show me in different ways that I should not feel this way because the universe would always come through with something. But it took me a long time to understand the spiritual component of it. It took me a long time to understand that my relationship had to get healthy with it. I did have another thing where I would use money as a weapon. And I felt like if I paid you for a service or I paid you for something, that it gave me power over you. Very, very toxic. Very, very toxic. So I had to really get myself straight around money. It was like money was like an obsession for me. It was like it was just very unhealthy. It was very ugly. And I am not proud of how I would behave around money. So I had to finally figure out, okay, girl, this is why this is happening to you. This is why you have not reached the financial success that you want to. Now, again, I always say, I am nowhere near where I want to be financially. However, I'm definitely in a much better place than I was some years ago. That's because I got a healthy respect and a relationship with money. Growth is a beautiful thing. It really, really is. And I did do that. Now, I do feel like I have opened the door to a wealth transference for myself. And I always say, it is not a matter of if for me. It is a matter of when it's going to happen. Because I know it's going to happen. Now, when I win this lottery or however this money comes to me, I will teach y'all how it was done. I will share with you how I did it and the steps that I did it in, because I'm actually actively manifesting this thing. And so once it happens, I will share with you how I did it. But in the meantime, we all have a beautiful year of growing things in our life. From a financial standpoint, I want us to be in the vibration of abundance, be in the vibration of drawing in energetically money and resources and things that we're supposed to have. So let's take this time to do that. Oh, yeah, it's going to stay up so you can watch it again. Also, again, like I said before, we are walking into, as Whitney so eloquently stated, a transference of wealth period, which is going to be over the next 20 years. We have so much opportunity to grow that generational wealth that we're always talking about. So look forward to that. But I think this year is the kickstart of that. I think some people are going to have, like I said, an abundance of money drop in their lap, and that is going to be the seed that they plant to grow generational wealth over the next 20 years. So does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns about what we talked about? This one wasn't going to be long because it was straight to the point here, because I need to go get something to eat because I'm hungry. And so any questions, comments, again, the video will stay up. I may do a little edited version on my YouTube channel, but I don't think there's too much I want to edit out of here. So if you want to come back to the Instagram and watch the video, it will be up for you to watch. Other than that, how's everyone been doing? You missed this plan because my fault. I was supposed to be doing this live like a couple of times ago and I didn't. And then I felt like, okay, I just need to do it now because I know next week is going to be busy for me. And I needed to get this information out because now we're already a month into the